Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Cheryl here today. Today I'm going to show you how to make Puerto Rican empanadas. I'm sure someone will be coming in interrupting my video, but we will go ahead and get started. First thing you need is about a pound of, let's see if you could see that, a pound of ground pork. You could probably use ground beef or chicken, depends on what you want. And just brown that up and then drain it. And then let me show you what else you need. I'm going to move over here. Let's move the camera up a little bit so you can see. Sorry, it's a little crooked here. But anyway, I usually put in about 1.5 or 2 of these Sazon. Iberia, you could use the Goya ones. They're the same thing. It's con culantro saute. And then I season the meat with about a tablespoon of this Goya adobe mix. It's an all-purpose seasoning. I buy this and use it for everything. Then just probably about a tablespoon of salt. About 2 tablespoons of oregano. About a half of a teaspoon of black pepper. And we got a cup of cilantro. And about, in this case, I got about 5 cloves of minced garlic. And then we got 1 medium-sized white onion chopped. And 1 green pepper chopped. And then I got 1 can of tomato sauce. This is probably, let's see, I can't see on the can. It's probably about a 10 ounce or 8 ounce can. Okay, so we're gonna move back over here to the pot. Okay, what I did first with the ground pork was brown it and strain it. And I have it here in a bowl on the side. And so, let me turn this down. I put about 2 tablespoons of oil in the same pot. And I'm gonna put my onions and green peppers in there to cook a little bit. And then I'll put the garlic in a few minutes. Because garlic burns fast, I don't want it to burn. Then I'll put some of the seasonings in there, and then I'll put the meat back in. I wanted to try to do this with tripod, but it was acting up, so. If you're good at making dough, you can make your own little dough rings, but I buy this because I'm not good at making anything that has to do with dough. So I'm just gonna cook this a couple minutes. I'm not gonna make you watch me cook green peppers and onions for 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm going to come back in a minute and show you what I put in next. Okay, looks like the green peppers and the onions. Okay, I'm back, but the dogs are acting crazy because somebody came to the door. So I hope y'all can hear me. This is getting on my nerves. But anyway, you can see that the green peppers and onions have cooked down. And so next, as you can see, the green peppers and onions have cooked down. I'm getting ready to add the garlic. This is like take 10 because somebody came to the door and the dogs went berserk. so I put the garlic in here and I'm going to cook it for probably about 2 minutes. I hope you can see that okay. So while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in the culantro. Just to get it in there. Teddy. And I'll use them too. I'm going to put the recipe below for how you make it for 1 pound. This is actually, I put 2 pounds of meat because I had a request to make this, and I'm making it for one of my subscribers. She doesn't have a channel, but she's a really sweet girl, and I told her I would make her some. I'm not going to cook hers, but I'm going to prepare them so that she can go ahead and fry them herself. Alright, so I'm just going to put you on hold for a second, and I'm going to put the meat back in. Okay, I got the meat back in and stirred it up a little bit. Now I'm going to throw in the oregano, the fresh cilantro. I guess you could use dried if that's what you have. I put the pepper in, and I put the salt in. I'm not going to put all the salt in. I just don't want it to be salty. And I'm going to pour in the sauce. I put in the whole can. And then I'm going to stir it up and kind of let that simmer a little bit. And I'll come back and taste it and see if the meat has enough flavor. Sometimes I might have to add a little bit of this and that to doctor it up. But you could eat this meat with other things. It doesn't have to be in an empanada. Some people like to eat it plain. I had some in the freezer I took out yesterday, a little bit, that I was going to put on some chips for nachos, but I never did it. Never got to it yesterday. So I'm going to let that saute, marinate, whatever you want to call it, saute for a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you how I put them together. Okay, I'm back. I want to show you how I put these together. I hope you can see okay. I took some of the meat out. Let me back up a little bit. I took some of the meat out of the pot. I'm trying not to be in the video. But anyway, I just take a little scoop, about a tablespoon or so, and I put it down on the dough. You can see that. And I try not to put too much. You got to have a fork with you so you can close it up. And so I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to move back just a little bit. Anyway, you fold it in half, then you take your fork. I don't want to be in this video, but I guess I have to, don't I? And you just take the fork and mash it down where you have a nice little like pastry. And so I'm going to do that, a couple more here. You just need a little bit of meat. If you put too much, it'll squeeze out of the side, and then it'll be difficult when you get ready to cook it because the juice will come out and they'll open up and sometimes they'll burn. So I'm gonna try to move up a little closer so y'all can see what the heck I'm doing with this daggone tripod, but I can't do it with one hand. And I got Teddy out there barking. So I'm just gonna put a couple of these together, and then I'll show you what they look like after I cook them. I put about 2 cups of oil in a wok that I use for deep frying. And they don't take but maybe, if that, maybe 1 or 2 minutes to brown. So while I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and heat the oil up. But this is pretty easy, it's quick. The longest part is putting them together in the dough. And one thing I like about buying these little doughs, you see it's just a little round circle. I've used them before and put sweet potatoes in there for Thanksgiving. What takes the longest with this is probably chopping up the vegetables and putting the meat and sealing the dough. See? And you probably won't use all the meat, which is good because then you can freeze it and then you have some left over. And all you have to do is buy the dough and you can make some more quickly. And these doughs come with individually wrapped plastic, which makes it easy so they don't stick together. So you can see I'm just putting the meat in the dough, pressing it down, and I take my fork and put it little marks on the end to seal it so it doesn't come apart. And sometimes I'll put a couple of pieces of these plastics on top for the next layer. And I'm not going to cook all of these today. Some of them I'm taking to my subscriber, and I'll just freeze them for her and then she can cook them when she's ready. So I'm almost on the last one. There's 10 that comes in a pack. And probably, you could probably make 10 with a half a pound of ground pork and just divide the recipe in half. Okay, I'm on the last one. Fold this over, press down tight, and then just take the fork, press down, and you're done. So I'm going to move the meat out the way. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm gonna move over here and I'm gonna get a couple things out, so I'll be right back. Okay, the oil is hot enough. I usually try to get it around 350 degrees. And so I'm gonna I usually drop in about 3 at a time because I don't want the oil to get cold. So we're gonna drop them in. And I'm going to take the phone off the tripod for a second so you can, hopefully I won't drop my phone in the pan. You see it cooking. And so I'll show you what it looks like when I take it out in a second. Put that back up there. And they brown quickly. Just turn them over. See? And I drain them on a paper towel. You see how nice that looks? Alright, that one don't want to get off. So that's basically it for these empanadas. I'm going to show you what they look like when I'm all done in a second here. This was the first one I put in. It's want to act kind of funny looking because the dough got kind of soft on that one. Now I'll be putting a couple more together. I remember not to cook them. But these are quick. Sorry, my thing keeps moving on me. Quick and easy. So I'm not going to keep y'all and make y'all sit here and watch me cook all of them. I'm going to be back in a second and show you what they look like, okay? Okay, this is what they look like. They're nice and crispy, and I'm sure they'll be enjoyed today. There's 10 of them. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you want me to cook some more Puerto Rican dishes that I learned from my mother-in-law. So I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.